Hello and welcome to Center Ice Cardcast, your one-stop podcast shop for all things hockey cards. My name is Eric Andrews, also known in the hobby as Hammerhawks. And unlike usual, I'm not joined by my co-host Aaron Goldstein tonight, but instead, as you guys can see, I'm joined tonight by Leaf VP of Product Development, Gregg Kohn. Gregg, welcome back to the show. I know it's been a little while, but thanks for coming on and joining me tonight. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Glad to be here.
Doing well, doing well. So obviously, this is a day that I always really look forward to, as it is release day for the newest edition of Leaf in the Game Used Hockey, which of course is one of my very favorite products whenever it comes out, and one of the few products that I purchase every time that it does come out. I just think that the product has excellent value and provides a lot of really cool cards. So it's super easy to fall in love with this stuff, and this year's no different. So some of you might remember that we did this 2 years ago for the last release of In the Game Used. And obviously, as we see, Gregg was kind enough to come back this time for a live review and case break of the product, as he does know this product better than anybody else. So just to give some people some time, sorry, my voice is already given out. That's not great. To give people time to show up tonight and just to allow Gregg to talk a little bit. I just wanted to give Gregg the opportunity to talk a little bit about Leaf as a whole and also some of the changes that have been going on with Leaf. If you're willing, Gregg, just because I know some people might not be overly familiar with some of the changes that have been going on. So if you want to talk a little bit about Leaf as a whole and the mission of the company, kind of what you guys do, and to kind of just go over some of those organizational changes and what people can expect from Leaf moving forward.
Sure. So I think everyone's pretty familiar with our products. We strive actually to provide the most value. That's kind of our goal. Per product, per box, everything. We want to be, obviously people will say, well, Leaf isn't licensed. I'd like to say we are more than just player licensed. That allows us to put more value in our product. We buy memorabilia, we'll get signatures of every legend possibly we can. And the goal is to put content that make people feel good when they're opening that product, that they know they're going to get value out of their products. So that goes for our hockey, multi-sport, draft products, everything we do. We just want to make sure people feel like they're getting value, not just perceived value, but actual value on their products and Leaf products. So we have gone through a few changes. As you guys know, Brian Gray is no longer with the company. So more of the day-to-day stuff are going to be run by myself and Josh Pankow. And we have a great team at Leaf. We have, in my opinion, for one of the smaller companies in the industry, per person, we just put out, I think the products we're putting out are amazing. Our design team, our production team, just everything that's going on, the level of autographs we're getting across every sport, Pop Century, it just is amazing what we're able to pull off. We have our VP of productions, Jim Kohler, just a fantastic. We have designers that are, Ronald, Michael Jew, Jenna Coleman. Just have a great team at Leaf. So we're excited about the future. We just moved into a brand new facility actually today, which we'll be tweeting out a little bit more on social media and Facebook and Instagram later. Beautiful facility. Brand new, state of the art, built from the ground up. So we're excited for the future, and we've got a lot of great things coming. We're more or less going to streamline our product portfolio to, we've gotten rid of some brands that hadn't performed that great in the past, and we're narrowing it down just to the brands we feel will succeed on all levels. Customers being happy, distributors being happy, end consumer, all of that. So we're excited.
Awesome. That's really exciting to hear. And obviously a new facility is really exciting for you guys too, I'm sure. So that's awesome. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate that. So turning to the product here, obviously I've got the case sitting right here ready to go. So before we break into it, just to go over the product a little bit, there have been some tweaks to the product compared to prior years. So I just love to go through some of those and make note of a few changes and things. First of all, before even talking about the cards themselves, I think this product is a lot more limited than a lot of people might realize. I don't know if that's something you're specifically available or allowed to disclose, but if you are, how much of this product was made this year?
We don't go case quantities out there unless it's a numbered case, which is like a pearl, but there's not much of any of it. I mean, most of I'm sure if you look at the bigger companies, their case runs probably running with thousands. Ours do not, especially hockey. Most of our hockey print runs will be less than 500 cases. And, that's strategic in a lot of ways because we want to make sure there's value kept up. We don't want to put too much on the market because even on a very good product, if there's just too much out there, it tends to, hinder the value of the product. Even, as much content as you put in it, as much as enticing as it might be. We just want to make sure that that we keep the products valuable, keep them on the secondary market at a high level so people can, be happy with the release. But not a lot of it out there. And some of the different tweaks to the product this year, as you mentioned, I remember in the first couple of years of In the Game Used, there was an autograph about every 3 or 4 per case. This year, there's pretty much, I'd say 98% of the boxes, maybe 95% will have 2 autos a box. We've never done that before. I believe it's anywhere between 4 and 5 multi-signed in every case. And, as we are known as a Legends product and vintage company, we've have all the key signers with Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, Hasek, Brodeur, Belfour, everybody's signing there. Vintage. Now, vintage is, we made it, and this is also strategic. Vintage is harder to get. The main vintage cars are numbered to 5 and 1. That's the only parallel, 5 and 1. There's only a version of a single, and then there's a quad. That's it. Now you will find some vintage players mixed in, like to the captain's insert. Those are rare as well. So you're not going to see, because just to be honest, once we are out of Vezina and Cyclone Taylor, it's just you can't replace it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be strategic a little bit more about how we're going to use it, keep it limited. And I think it'll also keep the value to go up a little bit. I probably, as Leaf, probably overdid it a few years with some of the vintage. So we're going to kind of tone that down a little bit. But trust me, you're going to not notice any change in content with the jumbo memorabilia, the tons of autographs in this product, low numbered content, just the big names everyone's used to getting, some different looks. This will be the first year in the game is that we had autos that aren't just auto mem.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the bread and butter of the product is memorabilia, but there will be autos. And I feel this is going to be a start of a nice run for Leaf hockey between this, and I'm very excited about Ultimate Hockey coming later, which have like 30 or 35 different guys' inscriptions, then Pearl Hockey. So we're pretty excited about this one. It's definitely, in my opinion, the best In the Game Used we've done hockey-wise.
Nice.
It's got, a ton of, we did an insert called Summit 72, where it's the last autograph you'll probably ever see of Tony Esposito in there and Gilbert. I think we have 15 different players from that team signed, and those are pretty, they're beautiful cards. We have an insert called Back to Back, which is, players for teams that won back-to-back cups, dual autograph cards. Just I think as you go through the case, you'll see just a really unique, beautiful product that has content that you can only get obviously from Leaf trading cards.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely touched on a lot of things that I was going to ask you about. So I won't go through everything here necessarily.
Ask away.
You talked about the increase of autograph content, as well as that not every card in the product is a memorabilia card. And I know you touched on that already, but what kind of prompted that change? And how do you feel that those changes ended up benefiting the product in the end?
Well, the change is more or less brought about so we can get more autographs into the product. If you're relying on only guys you have memorabilia of, then you're leaving some guys out. So it allowed us to put autographs of guys into that we don't necessarily have memorabilia left for. And I think that improves the product because now you've got, obviously I was able to get more autographs per box, per case, and it allows us to showcase some athletes that we just don't have memorabilia for that now can be in the product. And that helps. Now, having said that, the multi-signed, outside of the back-to-back, are mostly going to be auto mem. And there's a ton of auto mem in there. So don't think we didn't do that. There is a ton of auto mem, jumbo auto mem, dual, triple, 4 signed auto mem, 6 auto mem. So you'll still see a lot of auto mem. It's just, it allowed us to get some guys in there. Enhance the checklist, so to speak.
Sure. Speaking of autographs, I know we were even chatting about this earlier today, but I know you guys put out a video a couple weeks ago kind of showing the build of the product. And you had mentioned that there were 4 players in particular who kind of combined to almost be like the case hit for the autograph. So
Right.
do you want to talk a little bit about those 4 players and kind of what went into the decision to make those 4 in particular the quote unquote case hits?
Sure. And keep in mind, like the 4 players are Lemieux, Yager, Brodeur, and now
Gordy.
who the 4th. I'm sorry,
Gordy.
Gordy. That's it. Sorry. So it was just basically those are the 4 I think our main guys. Obviously, we have Hassiks all over this product too. So there's a lot of autographs. It's just those are the 4 we picked out. Said, okay, these are the biggest names. These are the ones people look forward to pulling. So those guys pretty much more or less combined for one a case. Not every case, but it's very, very close. I mean, it'd be rarer to not get a case that has one of those guys. Also, a lot of cases will have 2, sometimes 3 of those guys because I don't include that in the multi-signed. Those are just single autographs. So just because you get a Mario Lemieux single autograph card does not mean, in a lot of cases, you can't get a Lemieux with Yager or Lemieux with Howe or Lemieux with Hull or something like that. So if that is separate from the multi-sign. So in a lot of cases, you'll get double of those guys, which is beautiful. So that was into that. We just want to make sure. Now, this product's more of a box level. We just want to make sure every box, because every box in this product, I hand built.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that goes if I miss a card. Now, I know I didn't miss a card, but if something doesn't look right, blame me. Blame me anyway, because I have to oversee all that stuff. But it's on me. So every card's hand, because I want to make sure every card has value. Every box has value.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting something really cool in every box. If it's not the greatest autograph, there's probably a very cool memorabilia card in there. As far as memorabilia cards go, I believe every box will have at least a 6, most likely an 8 mem. There's a lot of 16 mem in this product, double 8, 16 players. It could be just the greatest defenseman. It could be 16 from Toronto. It could be 16 Chicago Blackhawks, anything like that.
Nice. That's awesome. I know one thing that you're really passionate about is coming up with cool ideas for the insert sets within products. And obviously, this year is no different. And there are some new inserts that are built in, some of which you already talked about. 2 that kind of stood out to me when I saw them were the Once Upon a Time cards and the vignette cards. What can you share about those 2 sets specifically in terms of the inspiration and how you feel they turned out in the end?
I think they're beautiful. Now, we did it first in the Game Used Sports for the Once Upon a Time and it was basically just, I thought it was a good theme to say, these obviously we're a legend company. So Once Upon a Time in Detroit for Gordie Howe, and we had actually all unique backgrounds created for different cities. Once Upon a Time in Toronto, I think has Gilmore and Mahovlich, and Once Upon a Time in in St. Louis has Brett Hull. Once Upon a Time in Pittsburgh, Yager. It was just a nice, cool theme to get in there to make it city specific. Because when you don't have logos, at least you could try to tie the players through a theme to their city.
Mm-hmm.
Vignette was I thought it was a kind of a nice name. It fits the bill of a product like this. So you kind of highlight the player in a just not a lot going on. A very simplistic design, just the autograph, sometimes autograph and a mem. But it was just a really nice way to have the card pop, and I think that did a really nice job with that. So they're both beautiful. I think another one of the new ones this year that I'm excited for is Back to Back, which I mentioned before. They're extremely thick cards because they're on that form, and I can explain that if you guys ever ask. They highlight players that played on back-to-back cup teams, and then I think that's just an awesome design. Hopefully, you pull 1 or 2 of those tonight. So we're excited about it. I mean, those new inserts, you'll see other new inserts in there as well. But those are the 2 or 3 that I think are going to stand out to people. When you see some of the cool auto mem, just in general, we got new jerseys of we got a Team Canada jersey of Manon Rhéaume. So there's a lot of nice patches her, and she sells very well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited for it.
Awesome. You mentioned the forms and everything. I think a lot of people probably don't really understand how all of that works. So anything you would want to share about that process would be awesome.
Sure. Well, when you're building a product, you're trying to be build the most efficient way you can. So if you're building a product where there's let's say a ton of cards numbered to 25 or less, you kind of want to marry those together. Because if you have a card on a form, and usually forms run on 100 up sheets, sometimes they're different depending on the substrate or the technology. But if you have a 100 up form, you try to want to stay away from cards that are let's say most of them are numbered to 100, and then you have a couple numbered to 10, because then you're wasting the sheets, if that makes sense. Because you're going to have those, the players to 10, they still have to print that to the 100, and those get thrown away. So you try to keep everything an even level. So having said that, as you're going to see some cards in there, because when we do a double-sided memorabilia card, you have to make it thicker because you have to have spacers for the memorabilia, you have to have space for the memorabilia, tolerances for the cards to be built so they can not crease and stay kind of strong. So those are going to be thicker. Have to put other cards on those forms with them. They're not always memorabilia. So hence you're going to see some cards that are, why are these so thick even though there's no mem? That's more or less the reason why. Efficiency keeps them on the form, and the cards still look beautiful. But you will see some inserts that were not with mem, but double-sided thick.
That makes sense for sure. One cool insert set that I really liked 2 releases ago that is now back again this year are the in the name used nameplate letter cards. I know we had talked about this in the past, but why was this the right time to bring those back, and kind of just what goes into developing like a checklist for a set like that?
Sure. Well, it's as simple as it sounds, is replenishing, we have a lot of jerseys, but replenishing jerseys with nameplates. So once we were able to do that, and we felt we had a strong enough checklist and enough jerseys, then that goes right into that. And it's not always going to be the biggest names. Like obviously there's big names in there, but there are players you're going to see in there that just player collectors we're going to love to have. They're pretty limited. Those are not one a case, as they shouldn't be. But yeah, we brought in the name used back to have a, game used letters. And I think people might like to collect the full name if they get a chance to, of their favorite player. So it was time we were able to replenish our inventory enough to have those in there again.
Cool. And another fun insert that is returning to the product this year after debuting in the last one are the Holy Grail cards, which I know you really enjoyed last time. I think everybody really did because they're really, really cool cards. For those that aren't familiar, they feature the eyelets from players' skates or gloves. Like I said, obviously those went over really well last time. So would you say it was an easy decision to bring those back again this year?
Easy decision. They're beautiful. And, it's got a nice range of players from, let's say, Mario Lemieux and Yager to, there's a quad in there that has Cyclone Taylor. So, and now talk about thick, those are super thick because, when you're talking about the eye holes from a skate or a glove, it's a, metal piece, it's got to be a little thicker. So those are, and they're beautiful, beautiful cards. So I'm looking out, do up one of those, but those are about 1 in every 5 cases. So they're pretty tough, but they're awesome.
And then I think kind of the last topic I have is the vintage memorabilia cards. Obviously, you talked about why they are harder to pull nowadays, which makes a lot of sense. But I also kind of want to talk about the design for those because I think they just look amazing. And they're actually the exact same design as the 2021 product, but the background color is changed from white to black for this year, which I think is just a really, really cool contrast. But why was that decision made? And obviously, then how do you feel that those cards ended up turning out?
I liked last year version so much that I didn't want to change it completely. I said, let's just invert the color, so to speak, turn it black. And my favorite version of it is the black with the gold foil. Those are ridiculously beautiful. But that was just basically, sometimes if a design really works, I think sometimes, and myself included, and other companies will go to change it too much to make it too different, and maybe people don't. It doesn't resonate anymore. I think everyone liked this design so much. I said, okay, how can we keep this design intact but make it a little different? I think that the changing the color from white to black accomplishes that because it's really a nice design. And the black contrast, as you said, it just works. So that was mainly the reason for it. I just like the design so much. I want to be able to keep it while keeping it a little different.
For sure. I think that's all I have. Is there anything else that I am missing that you want to talk about before we open up the case?
No, I think I'm looking forward to it. I think everyone's going to like this release a lot. It's my favorite in the game used hockey we've ever done. And like I said, it's going to be a nice beginning for a run that I think I'm really excited about. I've been teasing some of the Ultimate Hockey cards out there a little bit. I think you've seen some of the inscriptions, booklet card inscriptions. I think, and that one's even a lot more limited than in the game used. So that should debut at the Expo in Toronto in November.
Cool.
In fact, it will.
Alrighty, sounds good. That's awesome. So with that, we will turn over to this bad boy right here and get this light on. So for those who are not familiar with the product, it is 10 boxes per case, 5 cards per box. And the vast majority of these cards will be available. So if you guys are interested in anything that you see, go ahead and send me a message either on my personal social media accounts or on the podcast social media accounts. And hopefully I'll be able to work something out with you guys. But yeah, I would definitely say to go ahead and message me instead of commenting on the video. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments, but it can be a little bit difficult sometimes. So if there's something you're interested in, go ahead and send me a message and we'll figure something out. And then Gregg, obviously, as we go through the case, if you want to make note of anything or share about any of the new inserts when they get pulled, just feel free to jump right in. So
I do want to share that, and there shouldn't be any. There's no redemptions in this product, and that's what 2 autos a box. Now, hopefully, one didn't slip through. One of the benefits of being able to hand collate a product is that originally Dominic Hasek and any multi-sign who was going to be in the product was going to be redemptions. But we got his autographs in the last minute, so I was able to, as I was seeding it, pull out the redemption, put in the live card.
Nice. Okay.
So
that's awesome. That's really good to hear because I know I had seen online that some of the Hasheks were redemptions. So it's great to hear that that is not the case and they are all live in product. So that was really exciting. Awesome. So here are the boxes for those who have not seen them yet. Obviously, they've got the seals on them. And then the inner box has seals on them as well. Been a long time coming for this product for sure. Very excited.
I know you've been asking about it for a while, so I'm excited.
I have.
Pull a Vezina.
I have been
Bugging
Gregg endlessly for quite a while about this stuff. So we'll see how we do. So here is the box. Cool.
I do apologize for the tape on that, but this is a better version than in the Game Used Sports. We had to use 2 smaller boxes for some reason. So not sure how much I like that we do this white tape on there. It might be a little overkill for security, but so be it.
Better safe than sorry,
right? Right.
All righty. So here we go. Our first card, we have a triple relics numbered 45 out of 45 of Pierre Turgeon, Joe Sakic, and Adam Oates.
Very nice.
So again, guys, for those who aren't familiar, like this is a very generic, quote unquote, generic basic card for this product. So, I mean, that shows you how,
yes,
the type of stuff you're getting.
Right.
So that's a good way to start. Next card. That's a nice one there. We have another triple relic. It is, I'm not sure of all of the names of the parallels and everything, but this kind of looks like a silver prism or something like that. Number 2 out of 4 of Sidney Crosby, John Tavares, and Steven Stamkos.
Nice. That is the crystal. Silver crystal.
Very cool. Really nice foil on that. Pops really nicely.
That's another thing you'll see this year is brand new foils.
Yes. I'm curious too if you know what the Tavares memorabilia is. Kind of looks like glove or skate or something like
that. Looks
rubbery.
Like I believe that is the Tavares' skate.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, and again, that's another cool thing about this product. It's not all just jersey stuff. It's a lot of different memorabilia mixed in throughout. That's a really nice one. My goodness, we have a Team Utopia numbered 1 out of 2. Mario Lemieux, Gordie Howe, Timu Solani, Mike Bossy, Ray Bork, Nick Lidstrom, Tim Horton, and Jacques Plante.
Nice.
Doesn't get much better than that. And 2 colors on Mario and Gordie.
Beautiful card.
That is really sharp. You know what the Horton piece is?
That is skate. Okay. A lot of the old skates, the inside is like particle board.
Interesting. That is quite the card there for sure. My goodness. Good start. Now on to our autographs. We have an autograph relic number 16 out of 30 of Larry Murphy. Definitely know someone who will be interested in that. Shout out to Joe if you're watching.
Yeah, that's King's colors right there, purple parallel.
True. Yeah, nice color match there. And the final card of the first box, that's a nice one. We've got a dual auto relic numbered 5 out of 6 of Grant Fuhr and Andy Moog.
Nice.
Very nice. And the Fuhr doesn't look like jersey. Do you know what that is?
That is going to be, I believe, if I could see, it looks like pad.
Okay, cool. Very nice.
We have 2 pads of his, plus we have 3 or 4 different team jerseys of him.
Okay, very nice. So yeah, I mean, that's a great start. I mean, obviously, card like that, hard to beat that for sure. So
So you'll probably
very good
get,
start.
I'm gonna guess, at least 3 more multi-signed.
Very cool.
So that's one of the things when you see a box like that, that'll be just an average box in this case.
Hmm.
A lot of those cards, you get a dual autograph with Fuhrer and Moog and like that. It's gonna be hard to pull. In our stuff, it's just box hits. Memorabilia with Gordie Howe and Lemieux, that's just your normal box hits. And that's why I think we provide so much value that you can't find anywhere else.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. All right, on to the next second box. Nice card on top there to start. Of course, for you guys that listen to the show regularly, this is the downside of doing it live, is I can't cut out all the awkward gaps here, but so be it.
No worry about it. They're more interested in the cards.
That is true. So first card of the second box, really nice foil again on this. It's from the Captain's Insert set, numbered 1/20 of Joe Sakic.
Very nice. Nice looking card.
Yes, pops really nicely. Second card, we have a dual relic numbered 16/45 of Pat LaFontaine and Brian Trottier. Very nice. Third card, we've got our greatest of all time, number 2/3 for the New York Islanders, Mike Bossy, Brian Trottier, Dennis Potvin, Clark Gillies, Billy Smith, and Bob Nystrom.
Oh, and that's the greatest teams of all time.
Yes.
So we kind of took it upon ourselves to rank the greatest teams of all time and put them in order and kind of put it right there. That's a cool card.
Very cool. Yeah, and again, like that's a good example of those fun insert ideas that you come
Right.
up with. Do you know what the Billy Smith piece is there?
Billy Smith is a glove.
Okay, cool. And on to our autograph cards. That's a really cool one. We've got an autograph relic numbered 22/35 of Manuel Rayom.
Great card. She sells
Very nice.
fantastic.
I think that is the first Rayom autograph I've ever had, actually. So that's pretty cool. And finally, that's a really, really nice one, especially now. A dual relic auto numbered 4/6 for the Toronto Maple Leafs of Boria Salming and Daryl Sittler.
Ooh, very nice.
Very cool. Very cool to get a Boria.
Oh,
autograph.
2 multi-sign out of 2 boxes already.
Doing well. Good start. Good
Let's
start.
go see some vintage. I know you want that vintage.
Sure do. That'd be great. Well, can't be too picky though, right?
No, but like I said, you'll pull a couple of, like, every box has value, as you can see there, but then there should be a couple boxes that are like, wow, that's where maybe you get the Brodeur or the Hasek or the 6 signed, or a vintage piece, a letter. That's what we're looking for. That's the stuff that falls outside the case level. The Holy Grails, the vintage, the in the name used.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's also a lot of jumbo memorabilia in this product. Hopefully, oh, that's nice. Top.
A good start there, yeah. And we have people commenting, really complimenting the foil, how it makes the cards pop, and that the foil looks really nice. And I definitely agree for sure.
Yeah, we kind of searched out some new vendors to get a little different looks. You're going to see some more of that in upcoming products, some different foils, some different looks, to change it up a little bit.
Didn't quite get through that one. There we go. Yeah, this first card of this box is really sharp. We have an in the game used gear, which is an insert that I've always really liked over the years. This one is 2/3 of Martin Brodeur.
Nice.
With some interesting patches there. Do you know what those are from?
God, I'm trying to look. I know it's a patch off of his. I want to say one of the last jerseys we just acquired.
Okay.
I have to find out. Hard to see, but I will find out for you for sure.
Cool.
We still have to unpack all our mem.
The look around, it's like a white patch with a blue border, some red and black.
I do know the jerseys we have of him are Canada. We have the obviously the Devils.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to, could be a Team Canada or something. I have to look. Could be something. He also has great logos. We have pants of his, and we have
Hmm.
multiple gloves.
Cool.
So I'll
Yeah,
at
they
that.
look like there's some jersey material on there too. So it looks like a jersey patch of some sort. But yeah, very cool. Next card, we have, I know this will make a buddy of mine happy. We have a relic for the Florida Panthers, number 27 out of 45 of John Van Beesbrook.
He's had autographs in this product too.
Cool. Is that pad as well?
Yes.
Cool. Next up, we have our first jumbo memorabilia, a red Spectrum numbered 1 out of 3 of Mats Naslund.
All right, that's his Sweden jersey.
Yes.
I wish we'd have featured him in a Swedish uniform, but we have some of his patches will be Montreal, so we couldn't really do 2 versions.
Gotcha.
But
Makes
that's
sense.
nice.
Yeah.
He's got some good collectors out there too.
Yes, he sure does. Very cool. On to the autographs. Right on cue, we have a auto relic number 12 out of 35 of Mats Naslund.
There you go.
Pretty cool. Another Sweden piece. And finally, we are 3 for 3. We have a dual relic red, which matches the card really nicely, numbered 3 out of 3 of Serge Savard and Larry Robinson.
Nice.
And
Legendary.
Savard has a bunch of stitching on it too, which is really cool.
Very cool. Like that card a lot. Wow, 3 multi-signed already.
Doing well. Doing well. Yeah, that was a very beautiful card.
You're 3 cases in only. I mean, there's some biggies coming. I just want you to get a vintage. I want to see that. I want people to be able to see that, or boy, it would be nice to see a Holy Grail.
Yes.
But
that's what I'm hoping for, but like I said, can't be too picky.
Or I mean, like see everyone likes to get a Gordie Howe autograph.
Yes. Yeah, I remember 2
of the
years
4
ago.
Players I mentioned, who would you prefer getting?
I was talking about that with a friend earlier today. I would say probably either Mario or Yager, just because I don't have any of their autographs currently in my collection. I've had some in the past, but don't currently. So that would be cool. Looks like we've got something super thick in this one.
So that's either the 16, which is a 16 memorabilia card, or back-to-back, or there's an insert in there where you get it called Enshrined, where it's 2 guys enshrined the same year, auto mem. That's also new for this year, by the way.
I can already tell this is going to be a good box because I see what's on the back. So it'll be a good box. First up, we have a Hall of Fame caliber number 5 out of 45 of Rick Middleton.
That's just a fun insert. They're picking guys who maybe could have made the Hall and maybe didn't.
Yeah,
on the cusp, cool. Borderline, so to speak.
Yeah. And I know this is showing up really dark on the camera, but it looks a lot better in person for those who are watching online. Next up, we have, that's cool, an In the Game Used gear, numbered 14 out of 15 of Curtis Joseph.
Cujo, nice.
Those also look like pad or glove or something. Okay, cool.
We do have a bunch of, I think, Red Wing stuff of his.
Okay. And it is one of the 16 cards. It looks like, at least the front, it looks like it's all Philadelphia Flyers.
Nice.
Numbered 25 of 30, Bobby Clark, Claude Giroux, Eric Lindros, Bill Barber, Bernie Perrant, Brian Propp, Eric Desjardins, and Gary Dornhofer on the front. So that is the front of the card.
A lot of swatches.
On the back, we have John LeClaire, Ron Hextall, Simon Gagne, Reggie Leach, Mark Recchi, Rod Brindamore, John Van Beesbrook, and Pelle Lindbergh.
Ooh, very cool.
That's a nice one. And yes, as you guys can see, it is incredibly thick.
It's a brick.
It definitely is. All right. And next up we have, that's cool. We have another jumbo mem numbered 1 out of 4 of Roman Czechmanic. That pad.
That's pad.
Cool.
A double thick pack.
And we have a back-to-back dual autograph numbered 1 out of 4. And I think we jinxed it by talking about which players I wanted of the big boys. And I didn't just hit 1, I hit 2.
Oh, nice.
So
pull.
That's the front. And that's the back.
Wow, good card. Every box has a multi-sign so far.
Yep. That is a great hit for sure.
Beautiful card. Well, there you go. Yeah, you got your Yager. But keep in mind, you could still be very easily and probably will get one of those guys as a single.
That is awesome. What a beautiful card too. I love the foil on there.
Yeah, those are fun. I like that insert. That's one of my favorite new ones.
Great card. And now the comments are freaking out.
That is a
Love that.
great pull.
That
But
is
I mean, you're only
great.
4 boxes into this. It's a beautiful card, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Great
That is
case so far.
awesome. Yeah, it's funny how you mentioned how two thick cards, so the cards kind of almost like
Yeah,
stick
they
out
do.
above the top almost. Which
Like I
is
said, there's
kind
a
of funny.
lot of thick, and also we talked about form space before. When you do a double-sided card, it takes up, it's called double front. So it's taking up 2 spots on a form.
Right.
So it's actually only, even though it's 100 up, it's actually only 50 cards can be put on that form.
Sure, that makes sense. All righty, on to box 5. So this is the halfway point.
Halfway
Definitely.
point, let's get some vintage, but
In a good case
it's
so
tough to
far.
beat that box because that box had a 16 and that monster duel.
Yeah, that was
I'd like to see a Once
great
Upon a
box.
Time in.
Yes, me too. Got a fun current player or card in this one. It's a cool card there. Let's see here. All right. Just so I know, if there is a vintage mem, would it be the third card in the box? Probably.
Yeah, it'll usually be where the where the multi mem is in most cases.
Okay. Makes sense. So the first card we have Quad Relic, numbered 17 out of 45. Alex Ovechkin, Sidney Crosby, Patrick Kane, and Leon Draisaitl.
So those are 4 pretty good players.
Not too bad. Next up, we have another quad, also of current players, numbered 4 out of 45. Austin Matthews, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, and Alex Ovechkin. Very nice. 2 really nice quads there. We have a captain's numbered 11 out of 45 of Joe Thornton. I'm curious, a blue jersey piece, all-star?
All-star, correct.
Cool. On to our first autograph. That's a nice one. Autograph relic number 1 out of 15 for the Edmonton Oilers, Paul Coffey.
Nice.
With that really nice silver foil on there. And finally, let's make it 5 for 5, shall we?
I told now there is probably, I'm going to say 10% of the cases you might get 6, 7 multi-signed. Looks like you've hit one of those.
We've got a dual relic auto number 4 out of 12 for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Doug Gilmour and Daryl Sittler.
Nice. Toronto case with those 2 multis.
Yeah, very nice.
This is a great case so far. I'm glad that you're doing well.
Me too, of course.
And people, if anyone does ask, this came straight off the line. With our products, we don't really need to do anything because most, in my opinion, every case has value in it.
Yes, as you're seeing here. All right, so that's halfway. On to the second half of the case, box number 6. All right. Cool one. I like the first card here. All right, it looks like we broke the streak here based on what the back card is. But that's okay.
Oh, for a multi-sign, you mean?
Yeah.
It could be where your case level guy is, though.
It may or may not be. Spoiler alert, it is. Ooh. Come on. There we go. All right. First card, we have a Hall of Fame caliber, numbered 18 out of 20 of Jeremy Roenick.
He is
Very
definitely
cool.
that,
Yes. Right on the cusp.
Right.
I think he deserves to be in. I mean,
I do as well.
If you score 500, I think you should pretty much be a lock. But
strange that he's been, overlooked, but a lot of glitter on that card.
Yeah, beautiful in person. Awesome. Next up, we have a nice dual relic, numbered 15 out of 45 of Pelle Lindbergh and Ron Hextall. Very cool. We've got a greatest teams of all time. This one is ranked number 9 by Gregg. of the 2000-2001 Colorado Avalanche, numbered 14 out of 45, Joe Sakic, Alex Tanguay, Milan Hajduk, Peter Forsberg, Ray Bourque, and Rob Blake. Very cool, and definitely worthy of that for sure. That was a stacked team. We've got, okay, so this is a one autograph box. But this is a really nice card. It is
yeah, so you got, that's why you, oh, there you go, yeah.
Yep. Guess I'm showing it a little bit there.
Yeah.
But we've got a Masked Men 1976-77, numbered 5 out of 6 of Ken Dryden, Bernie Prant, Rogie Vachon, Jerry Cheevers, Glenn Resch, Mike Palmatier, Billy Smith, and Julie Gilbert.
So if it was a box that possibly didn't have a second auto, you'll usually get a second nice multi-mem like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Very nice card for sure. Do you happen to know? Looks like Dryden's like stick tape.
Dryden, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay. Perrant looks like
Probably glove or pad, most likely glove.
Okay.
Oh no,
Cheevers.
Perrant, that looks like pad. Cheevers is definitely glove. Gilbert is definitely glove.
Cool.
Palmatier should be jersey.
Yeah, the other guys are jerseys for sure. Very cool. Very cool. Always a fan of some old school goalie memorabilia. That's really fun. And then our final card of the box, of course, an autograph. And spoiled it a little bit earlier, but it is from the with the first overall pick insert set. Fittingly,
nice.
it is numbered
Another
1.
new insert.
Yes. And fittingly, it is numbered 1 out of 6, which is kind of cool. But our second autograph of this guy tonight.
Oh, nice. Can't be upset about it. I told you, most of these guys, you'll get a second one if they're in the multis.
Yes. So we are doing pretty darn well here. That's
Beautiful
sure.
card.
Yeah, very nice. Love the design of that. Really, really cool looking card.
We've got guys like, I believe in that insert, Wendell Clark, Roman Hammerlich, Lecavalier. So it's some fun players in that one.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty. Doing well. On to box 7. Let's see what else we can muster at this point.
Don't know.
Feel like it's
once upon a time, I'd like to see one of those.
True. Feel like we've definitely been doing very well on the autographs so far. So it'd be cool to see a really nice memorabilia card at this point. That's a cool one. Right on the top there. I know you had mentioned this a couple years ago, but you were saying that sometimes when you're going through and building the boxes, how you'll realize that like a case is like quote unquote too good or not good enough, and you'll end up kind of switching stuff around. Is that the case again this year?
More so with not good enough. If the case is too good, I'm going to leave it be too good.
Okay.
You know, I always keep aside a select handful of cards of some top cards in case I don't feel the case is strong enough. I could just add it right in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. So first one, we have a triple memorabilia, number 14 out of 20 of Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, and Evgeny Malkin. Very nice. Is that a Russian swatch there for Malkin?
That is. I think he has some patch in there with the Russian as well in the jumbo, I believe.
Very nice. Next up, we have a quad, number 21 out of 45 of Nikolai Habibulin, Thomas Vokoun, Evgeny Nabokov, and Roberto Luongo.
Nice.
Nice goalie card
Some
there.
goalie action.
Next up, we have a Masked Men 1990-91, number 5 out of 20 of Ed Belfour, Mike Vernon, Tom Barrasso, Bill Ranford, Andy Moog, Mike Richter, Don Beaupre, and Tim Shovelday. Very cool. Looks like those are all jerseys there.
One thing we wanted to do a little bit was keep alive the Masked Men name, the goalies theme.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice one. We have another of the greatest teams of all time. This one ranked number 5, the 1968-69 Montreal Canadiens, numbered 30 out of 30. Jean Beliveau, Bobby Rousseau, Rogie Vachon, Yvan Cornway, Henri Richard, and Jacques Laperriere.
Very cool.
Obviously some big names there. You know what the Beliveau is?
That is definitely going to be skate.
Okay, and then we got some sticks in there for sure. Very cool. And I know it's hard to believe, but we do have a multi-autograph card here.
No.
A dual relic auto, number 2 out of 4 of Mike Richter and Felix Potvin.
Oh, very nice.
Very cool card. Very cool. Yeah, really like that triple. That's a sharp looking card there.
So
All right.
every box but one, I believe, has a multi, and the one that was a multi was Lemieux.
Yep.
So that's not bad.
You're doing well. But let's see if we can hit one of those big memorabilia cards here. 3 more chances. You gotten a chance to see many other breaks yet, or is this the first one?
This is the first one I've watched. I saw a few of the Emerald version.
Okay.
But this is the first regular product.
Gotcha. All right. Starting off, we have an in-game used gear number 5 out of 35 of Roberto Luongo, and that looks like pad material, maybe, or glove.
Definitely, that's glove material, I
Okay.
believe.
Cool. Next up, we have a relic number 3 out of 3 of Larry Murphy. Very nice, low numbered card there. Next up, we have an all-time draft. So this is a cool card.
Another
Again,
fun insert.
Yes, I was going to say one of those fun themes that you come up with. Number 12 out of 15, we have Dominic Hasek, Larry Robinson, Teemu Selanne, Joe Sakic, Brett Hall, Peter Forsberg, Yari Curry, and Bobby Clark.
What round is that number? Is that first round? It's got to be first round. Right?
First round, yep.
Right, okay.
Yep.
Very nice.
Very cool. Very cool. My goodness. All right. Well, this is making up for the Lemieux single auto box. We have, I know, surprise, surprise, a dual auto, numbered 5 out of 15 of Kirk Muller and Guy Carbonneau. And that's not the only multi-auto of the box.
Another multi.
We have another back-to-back auto, numbered 6 out of 8 of Grant Fuhr and Paul Coffey.
Very nice. Oh, there's a lot. I told you this afternoon, a lot of multi in this product.
Yes.
A lot.
Very nice cards. Yeah, I really like the back-to-back design. It's very simple, very clean, but it works really well.
Right.
Definitely cool there. So yeah, that's 8 boxes and 8 multi-autos. Down to the last layer here. Flip the case over and get them out. The box number 9. Based on what we've seen so far, would you think there is still a nice memorabilia card coming?
There can be. I mean, there's a ton of big autos in there. So sometimes they're, like I said, if I saw a case that maybe have the best mem, it's going to get some more autos in it.
Gotcha.
Now you did get the 16 Philadelphia, but there's no like amazing jumbo in this or vintage or in the name use. Now there still easily can be, but at this point, we'll have to see. 2 boxes left.
It's like we've got
There's
another. Go ahead.
In the Game Gear, there's very cool cards in there that have multi patches in it.
Right on cue. The first card of this box is from that in-game used gear subset, numbered 6 out of 35 of Austin Matthews. I think those are glove pieces, correct?
Those are glove and pants, I believe.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Next up, there's a good name. A relic number 30 out of 45 of Mario Lemieux.
Very nice.
We have a jumbo memorabilia number 2 out of 5 of Alexander McGillney.
All-star jersey.
Cool. We have an auto relic number 2 out of 35 of Pat LaFontaine.
Very nice.
And we have, I know, hard to believe, another multi-auto and another back-to-back auto. But this one is a gold 1 of 1.
Ooh.
For the New York Islanders, Denny Potvin and Billy Smith.
Nice.
That's always nice to get one of the 1 of 1s.
Good looking card.
Yes. Yeah,
Black
and the
really
gold,
pop. I mean, the gold really pops on those. I like that.
it does. Yeah, it looks really sharp.
Very cool.
Very
Those are
nice.
very good case so far, I'm gonna say.
Yes,
Unfortunately, not the vintage you probably got yet, but
that's okay.
very nice case.
Lots of good autographs. Can't complain. So we have our 10th and final box. See what we can get here. Again, guys, if there's anything you see that you are interested in, feel free to reach out. Alrighty. No super thick cards in this one. All right, starting off, we have an in the game used gear, numbered 5 out of 15 of Vinny Lecavalier.
Very cool.
Some nice patches on there. We have a relic numbered 9 out of 45 of Timu Solani. Very nice. We have a jumbo memorabilia numbered 1 out of 5 of Byron Defoe. That glove or pad?
Pad.
Okay. Got our first one of these, a super swatch signature, number 2 out of 4. Really nice looking card of Ray Bork.
Oh, very nice. Ray Bork auto.
That
is
an
a nice looking card.
all-star piece.
All-star piece.
Very cool.
Nice
And
jersey.
yes, really nice big
I
fat
like that.
seam on
That pops. That foil really does pop. You're right.
Yeah, especially on cards that have like a primarily white background. It just looks
Right.
super clean. Really nice. And our last card. I know, shocker. It is a dual auto relic, numbered 3 out of 8 of Eric Lindros and John Leclerc.
Oh, there's a Lindros Leclerc. Nice.
My goodness, that was what, 9 multi-autos?
Multi-sign, yep.
Something
Unfortunately,
like
I didn't get to see you got one of the other inserts, which is the with the first overall pick, but no vignette and no in the name and no Once Upon a Time in.
True.
But I'm telling you guys, if anyone could hear, these cases are pretty loaded.
In case you couldn't tell.
Yes, and there's just so many multi-sign and so many 6. You didn't get a 6 sign or a triple, but a lot of that. I love that card.
Yeah, doesn't get much better than that. I mean, that's an awesome card.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite of the case for sure. So awesome. Any final thoughts or takeaways you want to share, Greg?
I don't know. Like I was telling everyone, we've never done anywhere near this many multi-signed as your case is shown. I know most won't get 9 or 10. A lot you will get 6 or 7. A lot will get most at least 4. You got the one big hit like Lemieux. So like in that case proved it. Just because you get Lemieux in a multi-sign does not mean you can't get him or the other big names as a single signed.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to have seen a vintage, but it didn't happen. So we'll have to scour the internet for that. But excited for this release. Like I said, it's pretty loaded. By far the most autographs we've ever done in the game used.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty obvious to see that, even if this was a heavier case for autographs for sure. But yeah, definitely a great example yet again of how awesome this product is. I mean, every single year, it's just as good of value for a product as you're going to find on the market for sure.
I would agree.
Yeah,
I hope everyone else does.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's so much fun opening this stuff and seeing the awesome stuff that comes out of it. Even if you don't get, that vintage or whatever it might be that you're, thinking about or whatever, there's still just so much great content in this product that it's undeniably one of the best products every year for sure. So, always a treat to open it. And, yeah, I think that'll pretty much do it. Greg, again, really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on and sharing your insights.
My pleasure. Hope to do it again, maybe with Ultimate.
Absolutely. Awesome. So yeah, like I said, that'll do it for the show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, please be sure to follow us on social media if you are not already. We can be found right here on Facebook, of course, on Instagram and YouTube at Centerice Cardcast, and on Twitter at Centerice CC. Please also be sure to subscribe to the show on your podcast platform of choice to make sure you never miss a future episode. Until next time on Center Ice Cardcast, keep collecting those hockey cards.